Bullies tore new black girl's skirt. 60 seconds later, they begged for mercy. Viral story. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. They thought she'd be easy to break. Quiet, new, and black. It was just her third day at school when 3 girls surrounded her by the lockers. Jeers, laughter, and then a violent tug. Her skirt ripped straight down the middle, right in front of everyone. Phones out. Giggles echoing, but they had no idea who she was. 60 seconds later, the laughter vanished. And those same bullies, who humiliated her, they were the ones begging for mercy. What did this quiet girl do that silenced an entire school? Watch till the end. You won't forget this one. Naomi had just moved from Baltimore to a small, predominantly white town. Her mom was a teacher. Her dad is a military vet, smart, graceful, kind. Naomi wasn't looking to stand out. She just wanted to belong. But the high school didn't welcome her. By day 3, the jokes started. Her hair, her voice, her clothes. She wore a simple, hand-sewn skirt her grandmother had made. It wasn't flashy, but it was hers. That morning, as she opened her locker, she felt the tension. 3 girls, smiling that fake kind of smile, approached. They made a scene, laughed loud, and in one sudden jerk, her skirt tore, gasps, phones, snickers. Naomi stood frozen. But in that moment of silence, she didn't break. She reached for something they didn't expect, and in the next 60 seconds, the entire school would learn. This new girl wasn't just smart. She was dangerous in all the right ways. The laughter hit hard, but Naomi didn't flinch. She calmly pulled out her phone, tapped a button, and said, "Uploading now." What no one knew was that Naomi had already anticipated this. Her dad had taught her about standing tall with evidence. After just 2 days at school, she had started wearing a discreet body cam, just in case. It caught everything. The taunts, the racist slurs, and now the violent assault. Naomi looked at the stunned crowd, then up to the ceiling camera. "I suggest you all check your emails." Within seconds, the video was auto-uploaded to the district's complaint system, her dad, and the local school board. Then the bell rang. By the 3rd period, teachers were rushing into classrooms. By lunch, the principal's voice echoed through the intercom. "Would Madison, Chloe, and Grace please report to the office immediately?" They were escorted out, their faces pale, phones buzzing with angry direct messages. The entire school had watched the footage online. And just like that, the victims weren't silent anymore because Naomi didn't just expose the bullies. She exposed a culture, and she did it with more class in a torn skirt than they had in a lifetime of designer clothes. Parents flooded the school with calls. The district called an emergency meeting. And the 3 girls? Suspended indefinitely, facing charges for assault and harassment. But what shook them more wasn't the punishment. It was the way Naomi stood in front of the school board 2 days later, in the same torn skirt, testifying with poise. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She told the truth. And when she finished, the superintendent stood and said, "You've taught us all a lesson." The crowd applauded. And those girls, sitting in silence in the back row, unable to speak, eyes on the floor. They had tried to humiliate Naomi, but they only revealed their ugliness. Naomi, she revealed power. Naomi didn't become prom queen. She didn't want that. She became something more substantial, a voice. The school revised its bullying policy. Staff underwent racial sensitivity training, and a group of students, black, brown, quiet, and often overlooked, formed a club to ensure that what happened to Naomi would never happen again. That torn skirt? She framed it. I hung it in her room, as a reminder, not of pain, but of strength. Because sometimes, the smallest act of dignity shatters the biggest systems of cruelty. She didn't fight them with fists. She fought with truth. And in the end, the ones who tore her down were the ones begging for mercy. Have you ever witnessed bullying like this? What would you have done? Drop your city and country in the comments to stand with Naomi and everyone who's had enough. Take care.